So hello everybody. If you are visiting this recording, you are interested in driving some traffic to your restaurant from your local area. And what we're going to talk about today is how to be able to do that by putting menus in everybody's hands without having to have them come and get it or trying to know who they are. We're going to be talking about sending out a mail piece called using a process called every door direct mail. So what we're going to look at is how to be able to do that, what's involved with that, and whether or not it may work for you. So what you're looking at right now, this is just our home page, but I'm going to kind of click over here in just a minute and show you what that looks like and how to be able to do it. So right now, I'm going to tell you a little bit more about it and then show you the mail piece. So this is a menu that we have for a client, it's just a local pizza place, and he wanted to be able to get his menu into people's hands. Now, right now what's going on is that there are tons and tons of menus that get flooded into an area in full color with lots of pictures. But we took the tack that we thought was a lot better. People they knew what they wanted to be able to get from a pizza shop. So we're going to make it very simple, just black and white. We're going to reduce the menu down to those things that people generally order. And then try and drive him to the website to be able to see what else he has in terms of his menu. We also couponed this. So when you're looking here, you can see there's various coupons at the bottom, and the expiration date is really not important. You can accept the coupons whenever you want, however you want, or for however long you want, or you don't have to accept them. They're there to be able to create a sense of urgency and try and drive traffic. That's what this is going to be. So right now what you're seeing is the front of this mail piece. This measures 6 inches wide by 12 inches tall. It's printed on an uncoated cardstock in just simple 2 colors. And what you'll notice here is that we have on the front of this, big and bold is going to be his name. We blocked out what the phone number is for pickup and what his everyday special is going to be. And then at the bottom, those are the coupons. On the back, we added some more of the standard items that people do want to get. It's not his full menu, but it does give quite a few more options to them. And when we put a piece together like this, we want to know who's calling and how frequently they are calling. So what we have on here is this number is actually a number that we generate for him. And whenever those people call in, we can tell that they are, in fact, calling in and track it, how many phone calls he's getting when he's doing that. So if we look into here, we'll see at any given time what that is going to look like. We're going to view the call logs. And these are calls that are going to his phone number, which starts with the phone number that we provide. It gets forwarded to his phone number. It records the calls. So for training purposes and also to be able to track how many calls we're getting and which mail drops it's going to be from. So we've mailed this several times for him, but you can see even as of today, he's still receiving phone calls on this number, which what that means is they are using the mail piece, using the piece that went to their home to be able to do the pickups. Okay, now what does that really mean? So we designed a mail piece that's going to be fairly simple. Now we got to get it into the hands of the people that are going to be around the restaurant. Well, how do we do that? I don't know who they are. I don't have a list of names to be able to do that. No problem. That's what the EDDM program is about. The EDDM program stands for Every Door Direct Mail. And what happens is that the post office runs a program that allows us to be able to take an address and figure out what the carrier routes are. Now, a carrier route is the physical route that the postal carrier walks on and delivers mail. They will put mail in every single home on a carrier route, and then we can determine which of those routes are going to be around your restaurant. So very, very simple and very straightforward. So let's go back here a second and look at our Zags Pizza menu. Okay, we have his address is 2201 Market Street, Camp Hill. So now what we're going to do is we're going to go into the tool. We're going to put 2201 Market Street, Camp Hill, PA. Okay, now what's happening is this is searching the postal database of the carrier routes. Okay, so now the pin here is actually going to be where his restaurant is. Okay, so that star represents his restaurant. What we're looking at right now is a radius of 1 mile from his restaurant. We can widen that net, we can reduce that net, okay? And we're gonna start off by making some selections. I only want residences. I don't want businesses right now. I want the age range. I can make that 25 all the way up to 85 years plus. I can also make it younger than that too, but I'm going to keep it at 25 for right now because those are the ones who are going to most likely be the homeowners or people with disposable income in homes. Okay. Now I'm also going to choose the size. I'm going to show the size. I want to show the size of the household, how many people actually live in that household. And I can also choose income range if I want. But for a pizza place, I'm not going to be too concerned about the income range. Everybody wants pizza and subs and salads, okay? So I may say, okay, well, 1 mile is pretty narrow for where I'm at. So I want to increase that to say 2.5 miles because I'll send a delivery driver out to 2.5 miles, or they can come and pick it up. So I'm going to apply that. So right now it's resorting based on the 2.5 mile radius, and it's going to give me an idea of the numbers. So right now I have my radius of 2.5 miles. Every one of these shaded areas that's turning purple as I hover over it, that is a specific carrier route. What does that mean? Okay, well, let's zoom in just a little bit. And we're going to see that as we zoom in, again, here is the restaurant. This particular carrier route, is a route for the local post office that the carrier will go on and drop mail at every single home. What does that mean now? That carrier route has 417 addresses on that carrier route. These are in his backyard, walking distance to his restaurant. So 417 addresses. Okay, the approximate cost is only the postage. That doesn't include everything that you're going to need, but that's the postage figure. And one of the beautiful things about the EDDM program is you actually get a break on the postage. If you're going to do first class mail, it'll cost you for a letter about 55 cents. If you're going to do pre-sort standard or junk mail, it'll probably cost you about 29 cents. If you're going to do EDDM, it's going to cost you, in this case, 19.1 cents per piece. Now, again, that's not the printing and the mail preparation or anything else. That is simply the actual post office that goes to the post office, but pretty cheap nonetheless, okay? So if we say, okay, well, 417 people, that's not quite enough that I want to be able to mail to. So, okay, well, let's add another carrier route over here. This is still within his neighborhood. This is still technically within about half a mile of his restaurant. So I added that one. I am now up to 783 addresses, and I can keep adding to it without a problem and be able to add up more numbers. I'm now up to 1,835 addresses. Now, if I zoom back out, we're going to see that that is still at a 2.5 mile radius. That is still well within that radius. Now, what will happen is that the mail piece needs to be designed. You go over it. You have to have all the pertinent information on there, the logo, the phone number, any specials you're going to be offering, maybe any coupons, because that'll help you track it also. Designed correctly so that people will keep it and use it. And then after it gets done, it has to be printed. Excuse me, has to be printed, and then it has to be mailed. So we have to have somewhere on here a mailer panel and an indicia for us to be able to do it. This happens to be our indicia. An indicia is simply a bank account at the post office, and we deposit money at the post office. So whenever we're going to drop any mail pieces, it charges against that account. So that way you're not paying for each piece. It's not like putting a stamp on every single piece. And then here, this panel says it's going to residential customers, all right, as part of the EDDM program. Here's where you're going to see EDDM. That tells the post office that this is going to go to the carrier, and they're supposed to put one in every single home on that route. Simple as that. Okay, now as far as getting this all together and putting it out there, this is a great way to be able to reach your local clientele, which is who you want to get to right now. All right, these are the people most likely to come to your restaurant. They're not going to just think about it, or if you try and put some other sort of advertising up there, all advertising can be effective, but this way it puts your menu in their hands and you show those things that you want to be able to show. And if you have a reduced menu right now because you have fewer items, supply chain has hit you, or you just don't have enough people, or it's easier to be able to make a smaller number of items, create a menu that only shows those items that you're going to be offering. And you'll do very well. So when you get ready to do this, to prepare a mail piece and get it into the mail, typically takes about 2 weeks. Can take less. It can be expedited, not a problem really with that, depending upon what's done. That's from the time you first make contact with somebody until the finished piece goes into the mail. Now, can it be done faster? Sure. It can be done as short as a few days if it has to be, depending upon who you contact and the methods that they use to be able to produce it. So what's important here, we went over the mail piece. We went over how to be able to target your local area. But it's also the knowledge about knowing what to do and where to go. So you can contact anybody to do this. You can certainly contact us to be able to do that, and I'm happy to help you to be able to do that. We are Haas Printing. We are located in Lemoyne, Pennsylvania. Our phone number is 717-761-0277. And my email address is info@haas-printing.com. That is info@haas-printing.com. Simply send an email that says EDDM ? Or whatever you have, and say, I'm interested in for my restaurant. Please contact me. And put in there your information. That's it, and you'll just send it off. We'll receive it. We'll be in contact with you, and then we can talk about doing a mail piece, an EDDM mail piece for you. So that's it. Any questions, please contact us. Thank you very much for joining us, and we hope to hear from you soon.